the man who received letters from himself. Timofey lived by a strict, self-imposed code. An architect by trade, he had constructed his life like one of his meticulous blueprints. A solid career, a suitable wife, an apartment in the right district. Order was his religion. The only flaw in this perfect system was the old mailbox in his building's foyer. Forever sticking, forever filled with nothing but bills and flyers. One Tuesday, nestled among the utility statements, he found a strange envelope. It bore no stamp, no postmark, no return address. Only his name, written in a shaky, almost childish script. Inside, a single line. Ask the crow on the northern cornice where it hides the silver feather. He dismissed it as someone's odd prank and threw it away. But the next day, another letter arrived. Don't be afraid to look like a fool, it read. Fools build castles in the air. You only build boxes for life. The words pierced him like an ice needle. Someone had seen the secret longing he had buried deep beneath layers of calculation and common sense. The letters kept coming daily. They contained bizarre, absurd commands. Buy an ice cream called Sadness of 1993, and eat it on the children's swings in the park. They also held piercingly accurate insights into the quiet desperation of his ordered world, pointing to the silence between him and his wife, to dreams they had both forgotten. He didn't follow all the instructions, but he bought the ice cream. Sitting on the creaking swing, its taste, bird cherry and warm asphalt, unlocked a vivid memory of himself as a boy, dreaming of inventing flying bicycles. He asked his wife the question from the letter. What had she dreamed of at 16? She wept, confessing she had wanted to sing. The following week, she joined a community choir, and a lightness returned to their home that he hadn't realized was missing. The letters became a secret dialogue. He began to study the handwriting, which seemed to change mood, sometimes jagged and urgent, sometimes flowing and calm. Then came the final summons. Tomorrow, 5:34 p.m. Devil's Bridge. Bring an empty tin box and children's watercolors. You will recover what you abandoned there 20 years ago. It is time. Devil's Bridge. The name alone was a tremor through his foundation. It was the place of his youthful heartbreak, where he had buried his passionate dreamer self after a painful goodbye, vowing to never be ruled by emotion again. At the appointed hour, a young boy approached and silently handed him a paper airplane. On its wing, "Unfold me." With trembling hands, Timofey did. It was a page from his own childhood sketchbook, a drawing of a fantastical house with wings and a rainbow flowing from its chimney. At the bottom, in that same clumsy script, "A house for happy people. Architect Tim." The revelation was thunderous. The handwriting was his own. The letters had been desperate messages from the part of his soul he had locked away decades ago. He looked up. At the far end of the bridge, illuminated by the setting sun, stood Katya, not as she might be now, but exactly as he remembered her from 20 years past, a memory given tangible form. He understood then. This was not a haunting, but a rescue mission launched from within. He didn't run to the apparition. Instead, he sat down on the cool stone, opened the watercolors, and began to paint. He painted the bridge, the river, two small figures, and the house with wings, not as a childish sketch, but as a new vision infused with the wisdom of years. As he placed the final brushstroke, the vision of Katya faded. In her place stood his own 20-year-old self. The young man met his older eyes, smiled a smile of profound relief and gratitude, offered a silent salute, and turned to walk away, dissolving into the golden light. He had been heard at last. Afterward, Timofey found a small, tarnished key in the tin box. The next evening, It opened his stubborn mailbox with a smooth click. Inside, waiting for him, was only a pristine sheet of paper and a sharpened pencil. At home, the sound of his wife practicing a choir song filled the rooms. He went to his desk, moved his architectural blueprints aside, and placed the blank sheet before him. He took a deep, full breath, the first in 20 years. And the first mark he made was not a straight line. It was a single, soaring, liberated curve, like the wing of a bird finally remembering how to fly.